Arizona, where this horse raced 13 times at Turf Paradise in Arizona, bred by John Campo, owned by John Campo in racing, trained by Stacy Campo. 13 starts from
These beautiful jumps are made by a company called Equijumps, and you can go to their website and make a phone call, and they're for sale. Some of them are not for sale. Some of the sponsored jumps, we're not letting you have the OTTB jump with the RRP logo because we love it. But the others are for sale if they're not a sponsored jump, and they make great jumps. And the flowers are for sale too. If you go by the, at the end of the competition, if you go to the information desk over here, all of these beautiful decorations, we're selling at a discount price, trying to recoup some of the cost of having to buy them.
When I wake up, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you. When I go out, yeah, I know I'm gonna be.
Thoroughbred Charities of America is the title sponsor of this event, and if it were not for Thoroughbred Charities of America, I don't think either the Retired Racehorse Project or the Makeover would exist. They understood when we first started that having a market-based approach to rehoming these horses and engaging the whole horse industry and engaging young people and professionals and amateurs and all these disciplines is the real solution to moving these horses into second careers. And they've really stuck by us, and we really appreciate Thoroughbred Charities of America. They're part of the Thoroughbred Owners and Breeders Association, and they have a booth over here. So if you're looking for a place to give all your money, give it to them, and they'll make sure it goes to a good place.
And Thoroughbred Charities of America has several other events that they use to help promote the cause of horses after they retire from racing. And coming up next month will be, as part of the Breeders' Cup festivities in San Diego, a beach bash on the beach at Del Mar. And then in January, the stallion auction. Aaron Crady is the executive director of Thoroughbred Charities of America and works tirelessly to help promote horses when they finish their racing careers and provide grants for various aftercare organizations to assist in their work. And so now we're ready to begin, and Superheat, who sits in 5th place coming into the finale, will be the first competitor to go, and Superheat will be jumping, as all of the competitors will, to Heat 6, as now Megan comes in to salute the judges.
that well trained on the flat right off the track is very impressive. Megan is obviously a very accomplished professional rider.
What's your impression of the trot work that you're seeing here?
I'm impressed. I mean, the eventers think they're better at dressage, but we just got a show jumper that could probably have beat them all in the dressage phase, huh? Go forward, and they love to jump. I think they like to be in the air. That a lot of the training for these horses is teaching them to wait and jump up and around the fence. And I think this horse is getting better as she goes.
Really seems to have settled in and takes a wide path to the Oxer at 6, and now the line to the TCA jump at 7.
This is a very professional ride on a very green horse.
Just 4 years old.
That's a little tight coming in on that Oxer. That's a real tricky one.
Yeah, got a little forward in that combination. And that's the first round for Superheat. And Megan Martin, all the way from sunny Phoenix, Arizona.
Rail down for the ring crew. Ring crew, we've got a rail down. Yep. Ah, look at him go. Woo!
First round, but with 7, it's a sharper turn now to the TCA jump.
Yeah, she angled that one nicely and then made a very tight turn after it. So she's being very smart. Rather than running her horse quickly, she's just tightening up her turns.
Now, this was the combo that was a little tricky last time. Oh, they were much more controlled over
She
that.
made sure to get in close and hold on that first one.
And now finishing up like they did in the first round with 9 and 10. Superheat. And Megan Martin, owned by Ira Schulman. And be sure to stick around at the end of the competition for the presentation of the first ever Ira Schulman Award to recognize someone who has been instrumental in rehoming off the track thoroughbreds, as Ira has been for over 5 decades. And as Superheat and Megan Martin exit the arena, coming in next is a young 4-year-old chestnut Fupeg Red, as the name would suggest, sired by former Kentucky Derby winner Fusaichi Pegasus, a horse who was purchased for $15,000 as a 2-year-old, but was unraced.
Any horse in this competition that was unraced had a published work so that we define them as a racehorse. They were trained to run.
And those works came when Thoroughbred Red was training as and show hunter at the Thoroughbred Makeover. The rider, Cherry Gable, is an eventer and has competed through advanced eventing on and off the track Thoroughbred, and also doing jumpers at 1.4 meters and an A-Club pony graduate. The second vertical, and now things to pick up heading towards the first of the Oxers that course designer Rick Maynard has tested these thoroughbreds on. And that is the first round for Thoroughbred Red and Cherry Gable from Alverson, Pennsylvania. Gets a pat on the back. And now the jump off.
On him, but if she steps up her pace,
Yeah, the horse seemed more eager
we'll see whether
than our first competitor.
Yeah, we'll see whether she does step up her pace, and whether the horse becomes a little bit rude or not.
Jerry's got a nice smile, getting
That's
ready to
good.
take the jump off.
If she's smiling, he's smiling.
The horse feeds off of the rider. You get the sense this horse seems to see the jump and really lock onto it and maybe pick up a little speed coming towards the jump.
Yeah, although I almost feel like it's the basic flat work and the balance that he's, even in the turns, he's quite heavy in her hand. But she's a very good rider, and she gets him where he needs to be for the fences. Now he's moving. Yeah, and get that flat. It's a lot of what it's about. All of these horses are athletes. All of them have a lot of scope. And at this early stage of their training, they just have to be patient.
Thoroughbred Red and Cherry Gable finishing up the jump-off round. They were sitting in 4th coming into the finale and showcasing the versatility of these off-the-track thoroughbreds and the varied backgrounds that they have. Thoroughbred Red was unraced, was training for a racing career as a 3-year-old last year in Pennsylvania, but didn't actually make it to the track for a race. However, our next competitor, Irondale Owl, had a 5-year racing career with 39 starts, just 4 wins, but in the top 3 in 20 of 39 races, and so amassing more than $130,000 in earnings. You're at the Kentucky Horse Park. I announce horse races. To see these thoroughbreds as they are now is both impressive and rewarding for me, and inspired me a couple years ago to try and learn how to ride. It's harder than it looks is what I learned.
Jonathan and I first met at the Rocky Mountain Horse Expo out in Colorado, and he had never ridden a horse, and drank quite a bit of beer, if I remember. But
did I?
I think after that, I think after that weekend, you decided to start taking riding lessons because we were all ribbing you about not being able to ride.
I thought that those pony rides that you take as a 2-year-old count as experience, but apparently not.
Although now every year I go back to the Rocky Mountain Expo, and we have a thoroughbred event there with Cantor, Colorado, and Jonathan announces, and then he surprises everybody and gets on. And this year you actually jumped a couple jumps and you stayed on, right?
I loved it, and I've been training with one of the participants at this year's Thoroughbred Makeover, Ashley Gubich. She's the trainer for Cantor, Colorado, an organization that retrains and finds new homes for off-the-track thoroughbreds. And I've gotten as high as 3 feet on the jumpers and still managed to stay on, most of the time at least.
All right, folks, we'll start talking about the horses instead of each other. So this is a fancy-looking thing, don't you think? This horse is real quality. Feeling a little tense in here. Not his happiest moment of life, probably. He's probably a lot better when he's out at home. But, man, oh, man, is he a good-looking, well-turned-out horse.
Yeah, he's a striking look. I mean, just the white stockings and the white face immediately catches your attention. And the way he carries himself. I like how he was holding his neck through some of the flat work. And I'm interested to see how he'll jump. And this is a horse that is for sale, one of the 120 or so horses that have been part of this year's Thoroughbred Makeover that is for sale, and in just a short amount of time able to show tremendous potential.
That's really worth noting. If you're watching on the live stream and you have a laptop or even a phone near you, and you go to the retiredracehorseproject.org website. You can click on these horses. You can go straight to the horse listings of the sale horses, or you can get it right off the live score. You click on the little green logo next to the name, and it'll go straight to their sale ad. And you can contact these folks. You don't have to be here. If the horse sells while it's here, of course you're out of luck. But many of them will go home and they'll continue on with their careers and be for sale.
So coming around again to try this Oxer. Rails down at 1 and 2, and another refusal at the Oxer at 3.
Looks to me like this guy's just sort of probably had a long trip. Long trip to the horse park. Long 3 days standing in a stall. Now he's in this crazy arena, and he's just not so sure. Ooh, maybe he just doesn't like the color orange, because he's jumping the rest of this stuff, isn't he?
Yeah, Alexandra, once he got over that Oxer, he's gotten a little bit more of a rhythm. Now to see how he does the pink and purple combo. Oxer vertical. Kind of slowed down a little at that one. Was much more controlled to make it over.
Wow, real improvement at
Strong
the end
finish to their first round. Alexandra and Saldo from Robbinsville, New Jersey, and Irondale Al. And now to the jump off 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
It's a solider looking fence. It's got the planks under the rail.
Alexandra, when she started riding, used to muck stalls, tack horses in order to be able to ride, and developed a love early on for the Thoroughbred breed, competing with Irondale Al and show hunters and show jumpers here at the 2017 Thoroughbred Makeover. So here they go with the jump off. Now they knocked this number 2 in the first round and over that, and good rhythm to the Oxer. Now they got it down.
I think this horse likes it when she steps up the pace a little bit.
Keeps the rail up at the TCA vertical. Deciding to go a little wider towards this combo. Speed certainly not an issue. One more to go. It's a good round. And that is Alexandra and Saldo and Irondale Al finishing up the flat work and their 2 jump rounds. Horse who debuted racing in 2012 with a win at Delaware Park as a 27-1 long shot, and continued to race for 5 years, ultimately earning more than $130,000. And now into the arena is rider Dennis Murphy Jr. aboard bridle number 283. How Great. This horse is owned by Alexandra Goodrich. Horse and rider coming from Vandiver, Alabama. How Great, one of the highest earning horses in this competition, earned $573,000, fifth most among the 300-plus entrants at this year's Thoroughbred Makeover. Fantastic race record with 3 stakes wins in 2012 in the Jersey Derby at Monmouth, the Kitten's Joy Stakes and the Palm Beach Stakes, those 2 stakes on the turf at Gulfstream Park in Florida. High quality racehorse sired by Hat Trick and grandsired by former Kentucky Derby winner Sunday Silence. How Great is spelled H-O-W-E, Howe for the hockey player Gordie Howe. And how great, you can ask that question about this horse. Tremendous race record from 2011 to 2016, amassing more than $500,000 as a turf specialist. 3-time stakes winner, also stakes placed in 8 other stakes races, from the West Coast to Del Mar in the 2012 Del Mar Derby to the East Coast at Belmont Park, most recently a runner-up in the 2015 Fort Marcy Stakes. These are some of the horses that I'm most interested in the Thoroughbred Makeover, just because their racing career was so phenomenal. And it's like taking a great athlete and after they, say, finish playing football, becoming a excellent golfer. It's very rare to see that.
Dennis Murphy comes from a family, I don't know how many generations back, of real horsemen. His dad does race horses, but also in the show world. And he's a great example of somebody who spends most of his time out on the A circuit with the hunters and the jumpers, and discovered the Thoroughbred Makeover and really just loves it because he grew up with thoroughbreds. And it's great seeing some of these folks coming back to the thoroughbred horse that used to dominate the hunters and the jumpers back in the 70s, 60s. Started to lose ground in the 80s when the Warm Bloods came in. And we think it was just because they got outmarketed.
But that's changing. Dennis has been showing in hunters and jumpers for 35 years, and he and his father operate Longview Farms in Alabama. Going down the line at 6 and 7.
It might be the best trip down that line we've seen.
Very controlled. I'm enjoying this. And they give themselves enough room to approach the combo. 1-2. Knocked the rail, but kept it in place.
Hi, this is Peg. Does anybody have a fork?
Dennis Murphy Jr. and How Great. Very controlled, good display in this first round. And now to the simulated jump off. 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, and 10 will be the jumps. So this horse racing at the highest level in Grade 1 races on the turf, from the West Coast in Del Mar to the East Coast at Belmont Park, earning $573,000, fifth most among this year's Thoroughbred Makeover entrants. Dennis was in the Thoroughbred Makeover last year, finishing 11th in show jumpers, so set to place higher here.
He's doing a good job. He did not make tight turns, going wide.
Dennis from Alabama used to breeze racehorses at the old Birmingham track in Alabama.
Yeah, I believe it's one of the great horse families that has one foot in the racing world and the other in the show world, and these are the people that are great ambassadors for what we're doing.
Absolutely. How great was how great? And Dennis Murphy Jr. How great was in second place coming into the finale and looking to rise up in the standings. And having some stiff competition from our final rider who now enters the arena, Isabella de Sosa, junior from right here in Lexington, Kentucky, who has been in this arena the last couple of finales at the Thoroughbred Makeover at the Kentucky Horse Park. Won the jumpers in 2015 with Dewey Square, won the jumpers in 2016 with Carajillo, and here with Late Night Mark, 6-year-old who has come a long way, bred in Ireland, raced in England to start out his career, going long distances on the all-weather at Lingfield, then ran on the turf at Windsor and Bath. That was in 2014 as a 3-year-old, and then
Yeah, I was talking to her dad earlier today, and you know, she does the equitation, she does the metal Maclay, she does all that, and a lot of that is on warm blood horses that are, you know, really the typical, you know, teenager in the show world. But this Thoroughbred Makeover has really changed her life and her career, because she's become a real trainer. She's not depending on anybody to train these horses for her, and she's got a real talent. She's a perfectionist, her dad says, but she really is a quiet rider who listens to the horses and lets them learn. We saw this horse at the preview that we did at Rolex way back in April, and he was just starting to jump, and everybody could tell he had talent. And she's obviously done a great job since April.
the equitation really comes through in her riding. Shoulders don't move, very steady in the seat.
Yeah.
Isabella de Sosa with the Irish bred Late Night Mark, raced in England and in New York and Maryland, and now competing at the Kentucky Horse Park, trying to make it 3 consecutive jumper titles for Isabella de Sosa from right here in Lexington. Picked up a little bit of speed into the jump off.
Yeah, she's being very smart about picking up the pace, but being very careful to maintain the balance and get to every fence just right. Amazing performance out of this 16-year-old kid who's been winning this thing since she was 14. Amazing story.
She's got a game face on as she takes the final. Big round of applause for Isabella de Sosa and Late Night Mark.
Let's have a round of applause for the kids. Man, these junior riders in this competition really show the grown-ups how to do it, don't they?
Yeah, last year was juniors top 2. Isabella won with Carajillo, and Amara Underwood, a junior rider that we'll see later on in Working Ranch, was second to Isabella with her horse Gold Medallion.
Thoroughbreds love teenage people. I think they all like to go forward.
The show jumper competition was presented by Purina. The course designer Rick Maynard has shown Grand Prix jumpers for over 3 decades and has coached show jumping for the Canadian pentathlon team at the London Olympics. And our other judge who we'll hear from right now is Richard Lamb from Aiken, South Carolina, USEA instructor certified at level 3, who's competed through the 4-star level, and he travels all around the country designing courses, coaching, judging, and it's a pleasure to have such accomplished judges and course designers. And now to hear some expertise, first from Richard Lamb.
Good morning. Let's give a big round of applause. Actually, not too loud, we don't want to scare the horses, but this is a wonderful exhibition of some wonderful horses and some excellent riding. So my hat is off to everyone involved. It has taken a lot of time and effort for all of these horses to get here, and it was so wonderful to see these top 5 horses in the show jumping. Obviously, some of these horses are showing a little bit of concern and lack of experience. The last 2 days, Thursday and Friday, they showed outdoors, and some of the horses came in here and their eyes got big and their heads came up, so some of the flat work and some of their jumping technique might not have been quite the same as it was outside, but that's just dealing with the situation. What I like to see was that the riders, the trainers, did not rattle their cages, did not get concerned. They did a wonderful job dealing with the situation and giving a very positive experience to these horses. That is our job as trainers, is to give them a good experience so that they are willing to come back into this ring and jump even better the next time.
And thank you to Richard Lamb for your expertise. And we bring in now all 10 top 10 finishers for show jumping. We will announce the results and also recognize the top amateur and junior riders. And this show jumping competition sponsored by Purina. Winner will receive $5,000 paying through till 5th place. Also the top amateur, top junior, and the winner to receive a pair of Malik Equine horse boots. The winner also receiving a horseware cooler and Tribute Equine Nutrition polo wraps. And as we get ready to present the awards, the ring is being transformed from the show jumpers to the show hunters, and a great job by the crew to get this arena ready in a short amount of time for a variety of disciplines. Top amateur and the top junior rider. The top amateur is Alexandra Ansaldo with bridle number 3, Irondale Al.
These amateur and junior awards come with a $500 check. Sorry, not $5,000.
As well as the pair of Malik Equipe horse boots. And the top junior rider, whom we just saw, Isabella de Sosa with bridle number 34, Late Night Mark. And now to recognize the top 10 in 10th place, bridle number 41, Audrey Dyer and the horse Arapeka. In 9th place, Kayla Muller riding bridle number 75, Freshman Phenom. Eighth went to bridle number 78, Red Tassel ridden by Sarah Myers. In 7th place, bridle number 113, Rebecca Walters riding How We Gonna Do This. Fifth place goes to the top amateur rider as well. Bridle number 3, Irondale Al and Alexandra Ansaldo. And now to recognize the winner for show jumpers at the 2017 Thoroughbred Makeover for the third year in a row, it is Isabella de Sosa. 2015 with Dewey Square, 2016 with Carhio, and 2017 with bridle number 34, Late Night Mark. Congratulations, and let's recognize all 10 of these show jumpers once again and give them a round of applause as they celebrate strong showings in the 2017 Thoroughbred Makeover in show jumpers.